Well, hey guys, what's up? This is Blockbuster Bill. This is the pilot episode of Blockbuster Bill's Reviews, and I'm here with my friend Bo.
What's up, guys?
We are here to talk about Deadpool. Now, this movie came out February 12th.
Ryan Reynolds just talked about how he celebrated his month anniversary on Twitter.
Yes, he
talked
did.
About how when it first came out, he was 39 and 5 months old. Now he's 39 and a half. 39 and a half. Pretty great.
Yeah.
We decided to celebrate that milestone by actually reviewing the movie.
Yeah, better late than never. So, basically, I liked it. I really thought it was funny. It was everything that it was promised to be. I don't know if it was more, but...
It wasn't. It was exactly what I expected it to be.
Which
is a very high praise. It sounds like I'm damning it with high praise. I'm not. It's good. It's a pure representation of Deadpool as a character. And he's probably the best, most literal comic book to screen translation we've ever seen.
Yeah, like that costume is straight out of Rob Liefeld's comic. And just Ryan Reynolds is perfect.
Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. He's not acting at
this
point.
He's just
Deadpool with some
being
makeup.
Himself.
He's Ryan Reynolds with some makeup.
Yeah, that's why he is perfect and not Green Lantern.
That movie was so good. There's so much that's good. Actually, you mind if I bring up the few, 2 things that didn't work for me?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So, the things that really didn't work was Deadpool kept saying he was ugly, and this might just be the fact that if you're working with the base of Ryan Reynolds, you really can't be ugly. But I didn't think he looked that bad. Like, some of the comics, they go full out grotesque, zombie makeup and everything. Whereas this just looked like Ryan Reynolds with a second-degree birth.
Yeah, he looks like he just had a bad birth defect.
Yeah.
And, but his entire face was just like a giant,
honestly wasn't that ugly.
Dead thing of skin, which, it could be worse. It could be worse.
He could be the Deadpool from the comics.
That
would be worse.
That would scare people, but since it is rated R, they can get away with that. And that's one of the things I liked about the movie, that it was rated R, because they could have done...
in its R rating.
Yes, they took full advantage of it. They show boobs, they curse a lot, they just go nuts with the violence, and...
Stab, shoot.
Yeah, essentially. And it could have been alright as PG-13, but it felt like...
It would have been bad.
It would have just been like, if it was PG-13, you just would have been like, it isn't living up to its full potential. So I'm glad that they got it as rated R. Marina Baccarin, I thought she was great as Vanessa. Essentially copycat from the comics.
Didn't have much to do, but what she did well.
Yeah, and
no
she's also there to look hot, and she does
exactly.
that
I
really
said she was
well.
there to do one thing, and that she did that well.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see her naked, but if you do, then just watch Marina Baccarin and Homeland, and then there you go. But
she's also a good actress.
She's a very good actress. She was great as an R on Firefly. Ed Skrein as...
That was my other complaint.
Ajax.
It was his... It wasn't his fault at all. The character was not well written, in my opinion. He was a cliche of a British villain. And they tried to make fun of that in the opening credits by saying just starring a British villain. Now, if they had starring a bland British villain, that would have been even funnier.
Because it was true.
Because he was a bland British villain.
That's why I didn't like him in Game of Thrones as Dario. He was just... out of place.
He serviced.
It's nothing against Ed Skrein.
Yeah, the character Ajax serviced the plot. He was fine. I still don't get why Deadpool didn't just kill him at the very beginning in the highway he was out of bullets. Great. There were literally submachine guns everywhere. Or he could have just stabbed him through the head with a knife.
Yeah, but then the movie wouldn't have happened. Really, you brought up another thing. The opening credits. That was just perfect. Every little joke.
Should have put a spoiler alert on this.
That we probably should have.
Hashtag spoiler alert.
It's been a month, so
statute of limitations is expired. Okay.
Yeah, so F it. Yeah, the opening credits were perfect. Every single joke that you could ever make about Deadpool or Ryan Reynolds in general, mostly, because it's really just Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds are the same person. Don't know how that happened. That's life.
Serendipity.
Serendipity. I'm not complaining. But that was perfect. I also liked Brianna Hildebrand as Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Oh, she's great.
She didn't have too much to say, but they made some great jokes.
Just her presence of being a pissed off teenager. Every time I saw her with that scowl on her face, I laughed out loud. It was so funny.
Yeah. And I really liked the update of Colossus. They actually made him sound really Russian. They made him even bigger.
He was Colossus for the first time.
Yeah, and nothing against Daniel Cudmore, but he just didn't do anything in those movies.
And 2004 level special effects were not there.
No, they were not. We've come a long way since then. Thank you, Fox. Gina Carano was just sort of there as the tough girl villain. She always was
the best joke was Colossus covering her up when she
yeah.
Thank you.
She's just chewing a match for whatever reason. That was just forgettable. She wasn't bad or anything, but it was just really forgettable. And that's not her fault either. It's a very repetitive thing I'm saying.
It's the writing. The villains were the weak part of this whole film. Was the writing for the villains and the characterization overall. Not the actor's fault. It was the script. I loved. I read the script back when it leaked in 2010. And I thought it was near perfect because it was. It's just the characterization of the villains at this time. I didn't do much for me. Yeah, but other than that, everything else in the movie was so good that it more than made up for it. You know?
Yeah, and basically everything was really good. The writing was solid, and you bring up the fact that the villains are very weak. Well, they're not the main focus. The main focus is Ryan Reynolds, and when they focus on him, it's great.
People say he knocks it out of the park. He does not. He shoots that ball into space.
He gets a grand slam, and then some. Like, it's as perfect as Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Oh, I think it's more perfect. I think that is the single best piece of marrying a person's personality with a role in a comic book movie. Heath Ledger's Joker was a better performance, but it wasn't because Heath Ledger isn't, from a performance and actor standpoint, it was a better performance because he was delving into the character and studying it. Ryan Reynolds was just going on camera and being himself without a filter, and it's perfect. I'm not knocking the movie at all. It was amazing, and I am so happy that it finally happened. But
yeah, so we're getting around that time where we should probably rate it. Now, how the rating is going to work is that if I like it, it's going to be called a blockbuster. If I think it's okay, then it's going to be meh. And if I don't like it, it's a bust. And
blockbuster?
Yeah.
Blockbuster. Dead. And the numbers in, like, earlier this week, it's already made like $700 million.
And it's only been barely a month.
And month-iversary.
Month-iversary, yeah.
And this movie, there is a slight chance it might make $1 billion, which is
maybe
the biggest profit. The movie was $60 million to make. 65.
Yeah, it was super low budget, and they did a lot of stuff that a lot of superhero movies, it's just very unique.
It bodes
and very
so well.
Meta, and it's perfect.
And the
for
thing
Deadpool.
is, it didn't have much of studio interference, and that's what made it so good.
Yeah,
was that the studio let them do their own thing, which is what I'm scared for the movie we were going to review today, which
Batman v Superman, which that will happen, but it'll just be myself.
We had been promised advance tickets, and that fell through.
Yeah,
we're not bitter. We're just disappointed.
Yeah, don't take us down.
I'm just scared. I'm just scared that Batman vs Superman. The trailer's my opinion for it's like a roller coaster. First trailer comes out, I'm like, oh, that looks okay. Then
the Comic-Con trailer was unbelievable.
Then the second trailer comes out, and I'm just like, oh, they showed everything. Then the next one's like, okay, they got the tone okay.
Yeah, they focus on Batman because Batman's going to be what sells the tickets.
Yeah, we're all going to see that because
most of it, yeah. I mean, Man of Steel it made a lot of money. It made almost $700 million. But
I'll let you talk all about that when you do your Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, I'm the big DC guy, if you can't tell, and I'm
the point is, I'm kind of scared for it. It's because the way it was made is the polar opposite of what Deadpool was. Deadpool was basically an indie financed by Fox and licensed by Marvel. Batman vs Superman is the very definition of a huge studio film, and I'm kind of scared for that.
But also, I gotta say, Marvel does that as well. It is a big studio film. The thing is that they're fans, and if Warner Brothers I don't know if Warner Brothers are fans. That's the thing. And I know Zack Snyder's a fan. He's talked about it.
That doesn't mean he can't get overridden.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he can't get overridden.
But anyway,
Josh Trank was a fan, but we all know how that turned out, and he's the big Fantastic Four guy. So,
can we not talk about that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I forgot to call it Fant Force.
Okay, but bring it back to Fox. Bring it back to Fox with Fantastic Four and Deadpool. They have, in my eyes, have redeemed themselves for Fan Four Stick.
Oh yeah,
with
definitely.
them interfering with just how great Deadpool was. If you haven't seen it for some reason, don't see it if you are under 17.
Do not see it.
It
We're
earned
not.
its rating.
We're not.
I am not condoning them young children going to see this movie. It has an R rating for a reason. It earns it. It's glorious, and I would not want it any other way. If you haven't seen it right now, if you haven't seen it by this point, go see it. If you have seen it, go see it again.
Yeah,
go see it again.
It's
worth seeing twice. I've seen it 3 times.
Since we're on meta stuff, I do pause quite a lot, and I do speak like this. This is not an act. This is just how I am. And yeah, Bo knows this. I'm not as straightforward. So if you can get over that, then that's great. But I'll just do my best to go through and not take as many pauses. I got to think about what I'm saying.
There's a way to sum up his life in the song title. It would be Allman Brothers Band,
yeah.
Ramblin' Man.
Ramblin' Man, yeah, I just ramble a lot. But I try to keep it persistent. And I'm going to score it. It's a blockbuster. Go see it.
Deadpool is very much a blockbuster.
Yeah, and
highly recommend it. Go microwave a chimichanga beforehand, sneak into the movie theater, celebrate the true...
Or just try a chimichanga in general.
Just sneak into the movie theater, the true Deadpool spirit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, post-credit scene.
And don't hide it where Deadpool hides his ring pops.
Yeah, don't do that.
Post-credit scene
is perfect. It's great.
I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it.
Okay, again, I was not going to spoil that.
Spoiled the whole movie.
Okay, yeah, we might as well.
Dude, Ferris Bueller's Day Off is the king of the original post-credit scene.
It was the first post-credit scene I ever saw.
Yeah, and Marvel may be the undisputed kings of it in the modern era.
Oh yeah, because that's Deadpool, almost
marrying
all their films.
Marvel and Deadpool with Marvel and Ferris Bueller's post-credit scene together and faithfully recreating that set. And I kind of hope that Keira Knightley ends up being Cable.
You mean Cop Domino?
No, he said that
Cable.
It would be either
Mel
Gibson or Keira Knightley, and I hope it's Keira Knightley.
I hope
would
it's
be
Stephen
some
Lang,
pretty
but,
great stretch of acting.
That would
for
be
her.
Amazing if she could pull that
exactly.
off.
Alternate universe, maybe.
Alternate universe. I want him to eventually just go to the zombie universe, the Marvel zombies. That would just be ridiculous, but that would just be so much fun. Because people were like, "Oh, Ultimates" or something, which that can work, but you gotta do zombies, dude. Just have fun with it. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.
Like we said, Deadpool, definitely blockbuster. Can't wait for the sequel. See you guys next time. I'll pop in from time to time, but it's mostly Billy's channel.
Yeah, and one more thing. I do a little.
Billy does impressions. He's quite good at them. Billy, what would you say your impressionable impression of this film is?
Shout out to channel Christopher Walken, and I would say walk into this movie. It's very good. Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool. He's the bomb. Come on.
Really?